few moments to get here and maybe turn down my ring light. That's a better version. Ahoy! Welcome everyone. Can you hear me all right? All right. We'll give everyone a few minutes, but tonight is Crafting with the Crew Paint Night Edition, and we're going to attempt, excellent, good. We're going to paint a parrot tonight. We're going to make him maybe a little longer, or not, we'll see. I think he's kind of cute this way. See how it goes. Oh yes, we have our pirate ship. I feel like I'm very close, hold on. We have our pirate ship from last time that we did. Yes, the parrot is my own design. I did the Googling, I used Sir Google and found a portrait of a parrot. Ahoy, Lindsay! I found a portrait of a parrot, a couple different ones, and put it together on my own. I never painted a parrot before, so I do be pleased how it came out, even if he's a little odd looking, but that's alright because, you know, it's how he looks. How is everyone's Saturday night going? Anything exciting going on? Any plans for the weekend? I know it's not Valentine's like last time, but... Oh, excuse my dog. She decides she needs to bark at everyone. Oh, yes. Recharge is very important. I'll be doing that probably as we're painting and tomorrow. Tonight, I decided that it would be good to have... Oh, I'm drinking too. Not a lot, but I bought some raspberry Riesling because I felt that wine needed to go along with the painting. Seemed an appropriate time. So, I also be drinking along, so we'll see how the painting comes out. I'm just going to go ahead and pour some and put that in a safe place so I don't knock over my wine glass. Yes, Valenzano is one of my favorites, and I'm very lucky that it is nearby. It is how they go. It's supposed to be with sipping paint and wine or whatever you drink. So, it's appropriate. I did bring ice cream too this time, but we're not going to put the paint in it. And I brought a healthier version because I felt if I was going to put the whole thing in me mug, it should be something. So I have, I knew what you meant, Valenzano. It's close, it counts. If I can get my ice cream open, we also have ice cream. There we go. I have caramel maple bourbon pecan pie ice cream. Ahoy, Lolly! Thanks. Yes, well, I'm going to put the ice cream, I think, over on the other table. Thanks for coming, Lolly, and joining us. So, that maybe there won't be paint in it. We'll see how it tastes. Not the paint, the ice cream. So, is anyone painting along? Or coloring along? Or doing some other art while we're doing it? Or are we just drinking? Which is also alright. Because pirates. Yes, the wines and the ice cream are on the opposite side in front of me, and the paints are behind, so as to not mix the two. Can't say that will stay that way as the night goes on, but we'll start out strong, mayhaps. Oh dear, I'm sorry you have a headache, Lolly, but I'm glad that you jumped on for a little bit. I appreciate it. Hopefully will entertain you through the headache. All right. So I guess rest mode is alright, and you can always replay. Oh, what kind of ice cream do you have? You can always replay and then paint it then, and then we can share them on the Discord. And we'll have all of our pirates. Lindsay, what kind of ice cream did you get? You didn't tell me. Pirates do so love ice cream. We've already had an issue. I knocked the paint over. So I must resituate. I did not knock paint. I knocked water. Ugh, I'm a mess already. I tipped my water cup that don't even have paint in it. Oh no, ice creamless house. Somebody needs to get ice cream over to both of you then. Alright, I think I'm going to... I will start with, I guess... Oh yes, you do need to do that. Ben and Jerry... Oh, PB and cookies. You know what, I think I actually just bought that one too. We must have been on the same brain wavelength there, because it's not dairy free though. But I'm glad that you're doing it dairy free, considering what we just talked about. Anyway, so I like that. Yeah, any painting otherwise. I don't know that I can see both at the same time, but I'll look later. So I figure I ought to go over our supplies and what we're going to be starting with, since, you know, this maybe be partially instructional, even if it's for later. Oh, this is very good. The raspberry Riesling is definitely a recommended choice. So I know that I said specific brushes. I ended up bringing all of my brushes because I'll see what works as I go. But generally, for this one, I think we shall use a big wide brush, a flat one for the background. Probably we will need a smallish medium round brush for some details. And, oh, I did not clean that one proper. It's a little hard. And our smaller flat one, let me see, this one I think for when we get to the feathers. And then, depending how detailed we get, we may not, I'm not great at details. We will use one of the smallest ones. This one's very little. Can't see it against my face. And so those are the brushes that I will likely use, even though I have all of them on me right now. And of course, I have my palette, although I often will use whatever's around. When I painted some other things after last time, I used the lid of the ice cream to make a palette because I needed it, because this one was still had some caked on paint. So we shall first, I think, need to do the ocean. So we will need to use our teal, or you may also use, depending how you would like. All of this is very suggestible. You can pick your colors if you want, however you want your painting to look. So I'm going to use my teal from last time because it makes a lovely ocean color, at least I think so. And I'm just going to put a bunch on my palette. And ahoy! I like painties, pirate painties. Welcome, thank you for coming. How are you tonight? My ice cream is gonna melt. The ice cream is also very good. So we're going to take our big flat brush. A bigger one you could also use because it will cover more space, but it's what I got, so this is what I'm going to use. And you could do a horizon line, as in the last time, if you wanted to be fancy, or just paint wherever you choose. I'm going to paint probably halfway up the canvas. I'm trying to do this so you can see. I'm going to be super not on point, but that's alright because it's paint. And once you decide where you want your horizon line to be, you just paint your sea. You just fill the whole bottom in, back and forth. Which is honestly sometimes my favourite part of the painting, that makes it so relaxing to me. Oh dear. See, we're not in a straight line. But I guess that's overrated anyway. So, we're gonna just straighten that a little bit and fill it in, and just kind of, not too many brush strokes, but just get your paint. Culling works too. It's also very relaxing. I haven't done that in a while. I really should probably sit down and do some of that again. We're just gonna fill in. Right, water is not controlled. It does what it wants. It goes where it wants. It wants to look how it wants. So you're just filling in your water here on the bottom. And kind of big strokes, because you don't want to put too many brush strokes on there or spread it too thin for coverage, because then also you would have to do more layers once it dries. I prefer paint that goes on pretty opaque. See, that's a fancy painting word, or color word also. And then I don't have to do too many layers on top if you just get the right amount in one. I like that I can just, you know, say these things about art as though I'm actually an art teacher and y'all just listen like it's the truth. I mean, a lot of it's from art teachers I've had, so I'm not lying to you. So just get your water down as thick and as covered as you want it, and I'm gonna let it dry just for a moment. Inky, I found that this one at Sir Michael's, it's a Cayman blue, so it's a very pretty blue. That's why I want to keep using it for the oceans, and I guess it's rather appropriate if it's Cayman blue for the water. So I'm just gonna fill in a little more here. I don't want to do, like I said, too many brush strokes. Although some people, it's a style to have a lot of brush strokes, and you can see them, you know, depending on your medium and all. I'm going to do the sides while I'm at it. Well, I don't have to go in too much afterwards and do them, just to make it look finished. Although if you're framing your paintings, which I never really actually do, I don't necessarily have to have the sides painted, because they'd be in a frame. But I like to make the sides because then you don't necessarily have to frame them. You just put up your unframed art, as it were. So then what I'm going to do, and I hope I brought my blue over. I did. I will use this blue. I will use my glittery metallic blue because I happen to like that one a lot, and we'll see how it goes. Oh no. I'm sorry, your connection is still not working right. That's never fun. Hopefully mine's coming through all right. It seems to be, but I don't know for sure. Oh no. Alright, well, unless you want your paint to be very thin, don't dip your paintbrush into the water you just spilled all over. But that's alright, because we can dry it so that we can blend in a little bit of the dark blue into our ocean. And let's see how the sparkles look now that I've made it too wet. I'm just gonna kind of spread, just get a little on your brush. This is darker blue than my initial, but that's alright. And just kind of get some blue blended in for highlights. Or shadows, not really highlights because it's darker, so I guess it's more shadows. And just kind of throughout, just spread the blue where you want it. And then you have your ocean. So, now that we have our ocean, I'm going to clean my brush in the water and not the ice cream or the wine. Need more paper towels ready. And I'm going to let this brush dry a bit, I think, because I don't want the blue or the wet to bleed over onto the next colors, because I want to put them on dry in a, I guess you would say, a dry brush technique, for being all particular and all. So I'm going to get my other one, my other big wide flat brush for the sunset. And now, when you're doing your sunset, you can choose whatever colors you want your sunset to look like, or your sky. I particularly liked this kind of tropical sunset that I picked with the red and the orange and yellow and then a lighter color. But you also could pick, you know, do some pinks and purple and white sunset. Actually, when I was coming home today, I saw a very lovely pink and, oh, pirate raiding internet providers headquarters. That can only go well. If only it would have help us out with the connection. So I did to see a very lovely sunset today. It was all pinks and purples and white. It was gorgeous. But I'm going to go and stick with our tropical sunset here and use the red and orange and yellow and lighter yellow and lighter orange as we go up the page. That's what we'll do. My ice cream is melting very rapidly today. I was thinking that it was kind of the other low-carb brand that you have to leave out for 20 minutes for it to be soft like ice cream. I forgot the name of the brand, but it's not like that. It's already very soft like ice cream. And melting very quickly. So excuse me while I stuff my face a bit. I also did not eat. Our ever-going problem before stream, I was not as smart as I could have been to eat first. But I ran out of time. I have string cheese though, that counts, right? That's dinner? Maybe? Alright. So once you're satisfied with your ocean and you want to move to your sunset, you are going to get your red out. So let me find my red. And get red, orange, and yellow. And then I like to also get the white because, you know, white will mix and will make it a lot lighter as we go up the page. I also should not have put so much blue on my palette because now I have run a little bit out of space on where I like to put my paints, but that's alright. So I'm going to start with a dark red for the edge of the horizon line for our sunset. I need a good amount of red because we're going to do very broad strokes across this. So we do need a lot of paint to get it on opaquely the way that I like to put it on. So, we get our big flat wide brush here and a good amount of red paint. We're just going to drag it across. It does not have to be straight. It's not going to be straight tonight apparently because I have wiggly hands and it's going to be the way it is. So just red, just a stripe of red across. Again, not too many brush strokes unless you want to see your brush strokes. This I will probably do another layer on, and because it's kind of thin you can see the canvas, which I don't love. So once we do get our red on sufficiently, the width or thickness that we want it to, there we go, I like that. And we're not gonna wait for it to dry before we put the next color because we want the colors to kind of blend together as we go. Oh, no, it's not been mentioned. I did not actually say what kind of paint. So I have a mixture. I have paints, acrylic paint, that I got at the dollar store, that some of the colors work a little better than others. And then I also have these lovely, I think I threw out the rest of the package, but these I think I got at Michael's. They're metallic acrylic paints that I really like, but I try to use sparingly because I don't want to go through them too quickly. Wow. And then for my bigger areas that I use, I also just get kind of the like $1, $2 acrylic paints that work for anything at the craft store, like this one. Kind of whatever's on sale. This one was on clearance. Is a satin acrylic paint, so we'll see how that goes on. So a variety of them, but yeah, I had a bunch of them, but they dry out because I don't use them all the time. And then the one kind that I have does not really go on canvases very well. So yeah, the drying out is a problem. So I had to buy some more, but luckily they're only $1, $2, so I can just pick the colors that I want as, you know, as I go. At some point I may invest. Some of these are actually from, not the Creative Gallery. Or maybe the Creative Gallery was, we purchased, or I purchased on sale in an art kit when the AC Moore was, we used to have one of those and it was going out of business. So a mixture, to answer your question, if that does. Sorry, my ring light is trying to find the right, not to mention that on stream, but anyway, trying to find the right lighting is a bit difficult. So I am then going to use my orange paint and put that in my palette. Get a chunk of that in there. Well, maybe not chunk, that's not a good word for paint. Get a bunch of that on my brush and then do the next layer. However thick we want. And this is a very red orange, so I'm probably going to mix a white into this to make it a little lighter, because you see it very much, oh dear. Oh, well, thank you. It very much blends a bit into the red. See, there's not a huge difference. So I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. Of an orange. And then we'll do an even lighter orange, and then we'll fade it into yellow. And then a very light yellow at the top. Yes, this is now my paint garb. It was the older, it's my older top that I don't wear often. And was already kind of faded and beat up a bit, so I figured it was a good one for paint night. And since last time I got the large chunk of, I painted myself with the blue, this is my paint night shirt. So once you have your lighter, this is more red than an orange. I actually think I'm going to add a little yellow to it. Although I did say some sunsets are pink. We know that, pink and red. So this might not be as tropical as I had planned it. That's alright. Sometimes you go the way the paint goes. And the paint tells you it wants something different than how you planned it. And just bear with me a moment while I try to get this open, because I should have opened it ahead of time, but I didn't. So here we are. Can all watch me pry it open, oh, with fuzz in my mouth. Yes, thank you, Chappie, I appreciate that. I have put my snacks and my wine on the opposite side in front of me so as to avoid that tonight. Oh, though, a very fun, I just had an idea. It's like I don't have those skills. We could do a paint night of painting snacks, mix a cooking with the crew with a painting, and do some decorating of, I don't know. Good Lord, cookies. I'm just gonna open it this way. And what comes out, comes out. A little mess tonight, just a little bit, this much. We could do like, and maybe once we can be together gathering. I saw a thing where people were doing a kind of like a paint and sip, but they were decorating cookies with each round of new drink that they were testing. It got very interesting. Alright, so we're going to make this orange red a little more yellowy orange for this layer. We're going to leave the pinky on there though, because I think it looks nice. I'm also going to try to speed up a little, because I thought I was going... You did! Paint and snacks. I thought I was going too quick, but then I realized we have a whole parrot to paint still. So... I mean, I thought I was going too fast. I kind of like that orange yellow. A little more depth to it than I usually do. That's nice. Should also not beat yourself up, just a reminder while you're painting about the process. So thank you. Is A, sometimes it's the process, not the product. It's alright if it doesn't come out exactly as you wanted, because the process is what matters. For me, I've had to adapt that a little because I was often my own, as I think we all are our own worst critics. And so I would often, as I was painting, oh, I hate it and I didn't like how it comes out. So I've been trying to be better about just enjoying the process of it. I enjoy painting. And sometimes it does not come out as you intended it, but that's all right, because it still usually will come out pretty. Or, you know, yeah. Happy accidents. All right, so now that we have put that lovely orange on there, we are going to put the yellow for the next stripe. Now I do have a little orange still in my brush, but that's all right because it's going to blend together very nicely, I think, as we go. Or it won't, and that's fine too. So get a yellow up there, a yellow stripe, kind of blended in the middle there. So it's not so harsh. Get some more yellow going. I'm going to keep painting my sides as I go, so I don't have to do it at the end. And we have the beginnings of our sunset. We are actually almost done the sunset. So, let's see. I do want to go back in and do the red a little more. I think we'll make it pop some more. So I will do that once we're done. But what I want to do now is, I think I'm going too fast because I think I was rambling. I was getting nervous and I was just, you know, like you do. So I am going to, add some white to my yellow and make a very, very, very light yellow, I think, for the very top, because I don't want it to be white because that's a very stark contrast, as you can see. I'm trying to, oh, can you see it? Hold on. There we go. So I don't want it to just go red, orange, yellow, white. So we'll do a light, light yellow. Yes. So now I shall mix this very light yellow that I'm doing. And I should have used a bigger spot because it's overflowing a bit. Yes, you need lots of sunlight to make white. You need lots of sunlight in general. I have been appreciating the sunlight more lately that we've had a bit of over the rain. So there's our yellow. I would like to make it lighter, but I think I'm going to see how this goes there. Because then that leaves me, oh, I like that. That's a good yellow. No, I'm doing more white. I add white. It's going to overflow here, but that's all right. There we go. We'll get our last layer in there. Bluey. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. It overflowed because my little whole square pouch there is not sufficient. Square pouch. The square on my palette is not sufficient to hold the level of paint that I put in it. So I'm going to go back over at the top just with a little more of very like white and yellow. But I feel very happy with this so far. I am going to go back in and I'm not going to clean my brush in between because I think it will add some color to it and some better blending. So I'm going to go back with my red here. Thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna kind of beef up this red in the middle here that we did that first one, so that it sticks out a little better. Because blending is kind of, you want a balance of, you know, you want it to be blended, but you also don't want it to blend so it's just all one color mixed, you know, smashed together either. So I'm gonna just add, I'm not gonna go too much like back and forth on there, because again I want to get a good coating of it, I think, to cover up here for this dark red. And then I'm going to mix a little red and a little of this to kind of get that in between. And blend that a little more. And just kind of blend some orange throughout the whole thing. Just to really tie it all together. There. So now we have our sunset. Actually, I almost like this sunset better than my first one that I did the other night. My mock-up. But I feel as though that's kind of what happened with the pirate painting. My half mock-up. I didn't do as well as I think I liked when I did my final one that we did together here on the stream. So, now what we're going to do is clean our brushes. We're gonna let the background, thank you. We're gonna let the background dry a bit because we don't want to put our parrot on while it's wet, because then it will blend together in a way that is not helpful. Oh, my brush is getting wobbly. That's rude. It's weird. Oh, that's what happens when you buy cheap brushes. Oh well, just buy more. So, you want to make sure you've cleaned your brushes in between. I probably should have cleaned up a little more of this water mess that I created for myself. Ah, yes, crazy glue would work. It's not quite broken, it's just got wobbly, which is weird for having just bought it before the last paint night. I'm going to just clean up some of this water that I didn't realize the extent of the spill that I did. So, I didn't realize that there's just a puddle, good lord, puddle of water. Oh, in your farm hometown, that's awesome. I'm sure it's very pretty. Yeah, I think in the Jersey place that I be living, we don't quite get to see as much of the sunset as would be nice because of all the houses and such. But I do, I have family out in Minnesota, so I've been out there. And it's very interesting. It's very much... Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, definitely more trees than ocean, but you can see the sky and the sunsets. It's very interesting out in Minnesota, where I have extended family, that everything is so much more open. It's very much farm, you know, where they're from. And I was shocked when I first went there that you see so much sky. Like, I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. I imagine you did. Being to another state that's not as, you know, there's way more farmland and open space. And it was kind of a shock. You're not used to, or I wasn't used to seeing that much sky in one. Like, you can just look and you just see flat horizon and just sky. No trees blocking the way or buildings, just so much sky. Yes. I do miss it out there. It's definitely different than around here. Illinois too. Although my favorite, it was kind of funny, I was going to say a few years back, but it's longer than that. My sister-in-law and I drove out to, or rode the carriage out to Texas, and some of the states we had to pass along the way, there was nothing. Like, it's tough for a long ride because there's just nothing. Yeah, Vermont, I can imagine, is gorgeous. I would love to see that and just see in the middle of nowhere and the sky. I'm very jealous for that because I imagine it's gorgeous. Yeah, the Nothing Drive was rough. We, at some point in some states we could count cows, but at that point we didn't even have cows, I don't think. just land and land, which is nice when you're so used to city, but all right. So our ocean is a bit dry. We're gonna give our sunset a bit more. Was I in Vermont? No, I ain't never been to Vermont. No, we drove through to, oh, right. Yeah, cow counting, it got there. We had to. Yes, like that. Let me just adjust while we're waiting for this to dry. I could fan it a bit. Oh, look, there's the blue. There's the blue where I painted myself last time. That's funny. How is everyone? Yeah, that's what I'm taking a break. I'm gonna have some ice cream, some wine. Yeah, it is gonna melt. I was trying to eat my string cheese to be, a responsible adult person that I am not always. You can? That's, wow. That's incredible. I love that too. So how's everybody doing on this Saturday night? Well, we can chat while we wait for the paint to dry and I eat my ice cream. I mean, that's fair. Raw pie dough is pretty good. That's a good plan to get it in now. This, I have to say, for a low carb, a lower calorie ice cream, this ice cream is very good. What's everyone's... Oh, drinking out of the bottle of rum. That's good. That's also a good Saturday night activity. Rum is always a good time. Most of the time. I went quick on this wine here. Oh, yes. Out of your shipwreck. Well, we need to get you more shipwreck. Shipwreck is an important part of, it's important staple of a pirate's diet, along with the ice cream. Rum and ice cream is really it. Yeah, I wish you could have some as well, or helping with it, because at this rate I might finish it tonight. And I ain't drank a whole bottle of wine in a bit, so... Alright, so we got raw pie dough, rum, wishing we were, having shipwreck, or helping with the wine. All valid, good points. Yes, booze raid, run, booze raid, run, same difference. Raid just makes it sound more adventurous. That's valid. And the raspberry, yes. The raspberry Riesling is very dangerous. Yes, full restock. May of 2022. I co-sign this restock of Shipwreck. When you can. When you can drink again, of course. There's also rum, not to be cheating on Shipwreck. But I was tempted today. There's a place in Cape May that has, it's Cape May Distillery. There's some very good strawberry banana rum. And I considered, and then I decided that it was paint night, so therefore it was a wine night for me. Yes, they have strawberry banana rum. And I've been to the distillery. It's kind of, it does. They do tastings too. They have a very, very neat tasting room. I'm saying that I think when things are safe again, we need a pirate field trip down here. And so we should go there because they have this lovely tasting room. Oh, yes. My iridescent skull mug is my favorite. I bought it at Sir Walmart. It used to hold my glitter. In my other life as Persephone, the Dark Fae, it held glitter. But now it has become my pirate drinking vessel. But yes, pirate field trip, because their tasting room, I guess is what you call it, is kind of set up like an old speakeasy, and it's just a very great environment. Plus, when we went, they had pizza, just pizza you could eat while you tasted, and they have lovely drinks. So I vote pirate field trip when we get there. All right, I think it's time we can start to paint our parrot. I'm a little nervous about the parrot, even though I already did it. Yes, I love when breweries, cideries, distilleries have food and you can just spend the afternoon. We actually had gone on, we've done it twice now. We took a carriage that we went to multiple distilleries and breweries in Cape May. And it was interesting because most had, like the fancy one, had wine and cheese. Like you could buy cheese and sorts of fancy snacks. But the other two, the brewery and the distillery, had pizza. Which is, you know, perfect. All right. So let's paint this parrot. It's parrot time. It's pirate time, it's parrot time. So I'm going to take, let's see. All right, well, the red's not totally dry and I just stuck my finger in it, but it's dry enough. And actually what we're gonna start with is our stick that the pirate sits on. It's a pirate parrot, same difference. The parrot sits on. So you're going to take you're going to want brown and you're going to want black for the stick. Ooh. Yes, you are correct. The parrot may very well be a pirate, so it's all good. I mean, if you wanted to get fancy with yours and you wanted to add a pirate hat to it or an eye patch, you could. I don't know if I'll do that, but yes, exactly. Jinx. You can always paint an eye patch and a bandana if you don't like how it comes out. All right, so we're going to put some black on our palette. I think the wine's getting to me a little bit. This might be a very interesting parrot. More interesting than the real thick one back there. Then you're going to put some brown. This was you last week, yeah. Yes, but it was a good time and you made really, really tasty. I can only imagine were very tasty cupcakes. I wouldn't know, but they looked incredible. They looked incredibly tasty. So, I feel you. So many cupcakes, yes. But never too many, really. So I'm going to use my brown and I'm just going to kind of decide where I want my stick to be. I'm using a flat brush, medium flat brush here. You can use a bigger one if you want your stick to be bigger. It's really up to you. And I'm just going to bring it up from the bottom here. And I'm only going to put part of it here. That was a really thick, a very thick branch. But that's all right. I'm just gonna, oh boy. Just gonna paint this up to, we're not gonna, you know, put the whole thing because we want to put a parrot on it. So we'll do the middle and then we'll leave the middle blank. That's not what I meant. We'll do the bottom and then we'll leave the middle open and then we'll leave the top out the bottom. Out the, oh good lord. We'll do the parrot and then we'll do the rest of the stick. I hate this stick, but I already said that we're not going to talk about our paintings as we paint. So we're just going to make it work. Need to make it thicker at the bottom, I think, to make it make more sense. It does need to be a sturdy stick to hold this parrot, especially if we're going to make him a little chunky. Yeah, driftwood branch in the middle of the ocean. I guess we could have painted a beach at the bottom and make a little more sense, but who needs sense in paintings? It could just be the way it is. Yes. All right, we're gonna leave that driftwood branch alone. Or yes, a parrot floating around on a log is also valid in the middle of the ocean. That's how he's surviving until he gets to the pirate ship. Or maybe that's his lookout point. You know, they let him off. He sits on his log. He looks out for other ships. And then he comes back. He's a useful parrot. Thanks. I think the wine went to my head a little much more than I anticipated. But I love you too. Alright, so we're going to leave the branch alone right now. I'm not in love with it. And it's just getting on my nerves. And we're going to attempt this parrot. Yes, he's a parrot scout. Absolutely right. So, we are now going to find the right brush to paint our edges. Oh, good night, Lolly. I love and miss you too. I hope you get some good sleep. Thank you for coming on for a bit though. I appreciate it. All right. So now what we're going to do, I may not want this brush, but we're going to use a round brush like this for the detail. And we're going to make the parrot. At which point you will want your black, which I'm going to use my black metallic because I think it will be a little more opaque than what my other one is being right now, because my other black is being very difficult, my black paint. So let's see how this goes. Where's my brush? What I did not anticipate is that this is a bit difficult to paint sideways so that you all can see me and the painting. So it may not come out the way my original did. So we're gonna do the parrot, and what we're gonna do, and we can go over this after we add the colors, we're just gonna do the outline of the parrot, and then we will go back in and add color. So I'm going to start with the back of the parrot, as it were. And we're just gonna paint, well, we'll start with the head up here. I want it to be kind of round. And just paint down here a line. A line for the head, then into the body, then back down this way. Just kind of a curvy line here. I painted this, but I'm not 100% sure how to teach it to someone, so I appreciate you all bearing with me through this. Now, I'm not going to necessarily add in the bottom feathers until we put the green on, and then we will outline the feathers to make them pop more. So, well, thank you very much, Kat, for all of the positivity that I do good and watching helps. All right. So we are then going to do our front, kind of the breast of the parrot here. It's around this way. Even. And then we're going to do a wing that we can see. Obviously the other wing is on the other side, so we cannot see it. Just kind of around this way. Very loose, doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of your outlines. And then we'll add color, and then we'll outline it again. And then we'll go to the beak here. Bring this line up. And we'll do his beak. Well, this parrot is looking very different than my mock-up one, but that's all right. So we'll do his beak this way. And then we kind of want to pencil out his eye like this. I'll let that sit for a minute. I'm going to have some ice cream. And see, this is a point where we might feel the urge to critique too much and say, oh, I hate how this turns out. But once we add the color, it's going to look way better. So don't even worry, and don't talk bad to your paintings or about yourself. All right, let us get this parrot going. We have our wing. We're going to make this one a little longer with the feathers. Again, I'm just penciling out. Yes, you are very right, Kat. It's not close to complete, and we have to remember our funny palm trees last time that we are frustrated with, and then we liked when they came out at the end, because it is as it goes. You got to trust the process. Thank you for that reminder. So, now that we have our very rough outline and good reminders about trusting the process and not talking bad about your art or about yourselves, we are going to add some green. Now, here is another area where you may choose to do different colors. You could choose to do a tropical pirate, especially parrot. You may choose that you want it to be tropical colors, yellow, red, all of the colors. I won't name a parrot because I'm not good at you know, the parrot things. But you may also I chose green. I wanted to make a green parrot because it is St. Patrick's Day coming soon. So I thought that mayhaps we'd have a little call out to our upcoming holiday. And also because I think the green offsets a little bit from our tropical sunset than if I did a very colorful parrot. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take, yes, oh, I'm very excited, Irish Sota bread for next week for the holiday, and maybe, oh, but maybe also a party to go to, so possibly shuffling around, which is alright too. St. Patrick-y in some way. A little bit of call out celebration. We'll make it work. Alright. So we're going to do a green. And now oh, definitely not a party. Sorry, did not put the emphasis on the D. Party. Just for those not reading the chat, Kat is very responsible and not to be going to no parties. And very clever, yes. Alright, I'm going to start with the dark green for the backing of our parrot. May get it all over myself. You are very clever, Kat. I'm not as clever. So I apologize if I ruined your clever joke. So I am going to use this brush. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm going to use this flat brush that's about a medium size in... the clever's debatable, but we're all dorks, aren't we? And that's alright. We like to be dorks. Nerds, even. Nerds do be my favorite candy anyway, so... Where did I put my lid? Well, thank you. That will come back to bite me, probably. The fact that I have a paint open with no lid, but I don't know where I put the lid, so it's gonna deal. So we're just gonna go ahead and kind of fill in our green around our outline here, or whatever color you've chosen as your backing color. I'm definitely going to have to do 2 coats of this because this one is not the way I wanted it, but that's alright. You can always mix it with other green too. They're just very broad strokes. Doesn't have to be perfect. Or just putting your green where you want it for your background. We're going to add highlights as we go. I don't love this green. But mayhaps if I mix it with the other green, it'll be a little thicker. I think that the paint I bought was not meant for canvases per se. And that's my problem. But that's alright, we'll make it work. We'll make it better. Just fill in all of this green. Oh dear. It's okay if it goes on thin, it's alright, because we can come back later and fill it in with another layer. This paint is really giving me a bit of a hard time, but we're going to make it work. I'm just going to do big strokes here for the feathers because we can come back in with the black and outline it and make them stand out more. So don't even worry about being it, it being just so. We'll fill in the head here. And let that dry. Oh, I appreciate that. It looks great from camera distance, so no stress on the green acting up a little bit. That's all that matters right now. It's what it looks like on camera. So, also, we're going to put more layers on it, so it's going to be perfectly fine at the end. Alright, let me just fill in the belly a little so it stands out. So we're going to make the belly kind of a light green yellow. At least mine will be that way. Of course, yours may look different, and that's perfectly alright. Our parrot looks very angry, so we're going to have to work on that. Maybe he's angry about being the lookout all the time. So we're going to fill in the wing now with the background green. Alright, we're going to let the bottom layer dry a bit, and I said that, but I'm going to fill in a little more layers. No, just kidding. We're going to let that dry before we add the next layer. So that it's a proper like. I'm going to have some ice cream while it dries, and then we're going to add another layer of green, and then we'll start adding the highlights and the details. Well, thank you. Yes, parrot-friend is starting to shape up quite well. We do need a name. Yes, we have to name it. So, what's everyone think in the chat? Don't know who's still all here, but any name ideas for our parrot-friend? Our parrot scout, as it were. Oh, hello, Yuki! Ahoy! Thanks for coming aboard for our painting. How are you? Yes. Kat is correct. We are trying to think of a fun name for the parrot. If you have any ideas, you can just throw them up in the chat. Moorie. Oh, that's very interesting. I like that. Moorie, like mooring at the dock. That seems very piratey and seafaring like. Definitely a good one. All right. I think I'm gonna mix a yellow. You're doing well, just watch. All right, so I think we have Mori, and Yuki was watching Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, and I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. But it sounds like a good Saturday. All right, let me see which green we're going to use. I think we're going to close up this satin dark green. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but is not my favorite. And we're going to break out this bright Jubilee green. It's a very happy green. Sooty? Mori. We could put it together. Mori Sooty. I like that. That's my vote anyway. All right. So let's get some more green going. I'm going to put a big hunk of green. So Yuki's suggestion was naming the bird Sooty. Sooty? Am I saying it right? I'm so sorry if I butchered that. And Kadarjo's suggestion was Mori, like Morin at the dock. We could put them together and be, yes, for the black feathers, Sooty Mori, or Mori Sooty. I love it. I love when we work together to come up with a good name. Mooty, or Mooty. That's funny too. Kat said, Sooty for the black feathers and Mooty. It's very interesting parrot. It's going to be very interesting when we're done with it. I don't know why I'm putting more yellow when I already have yellow. All right, so let's add some other colors. We'll do our little bit of yellow on the belly. I'm going to make it kind of a yellow-green because the yellow doesn't really go on in the TV show Sooty. I'm not familiar with that TV show. What's that one about? So now we're just kind of painting our belly of our parrot here a little lighter. I should have used a smaller brush, but that's all right too. Oh, and the green kind of blends into it. That works really nicely. Look at that. We'll go over that too. And I'm going to paint off some of this yellow green and just get green green for going over what we did here. I think this will be a better green. Oh yeah, that's so much better. All right. So you're just going to take, if you're doing green, yes, Kat, it pops in very parroty green though. I like this green. Much better than the first one. So just kind of fill in with your other color on top. If you're doing like I am and picking a different green. This green is much more parroty in my opinion, and not parroty. Parroty if you're Kat, because she likes the green. So I'm just going to go over it. He's going to get a little muddy right now, but then again we're going to outline it. So no worries. It's going to look great at the end. I'm actually very excited for how this one's going to turn out because he looks different than the first one. Yes, dark Sooty is about a little puppets, a bear named Sooty, a dog named Sweep, and a panda named Sue. They all do silly things. That sounds adorable. And yes, Kat, you are correct. Dark green, well, of course you're correct. It's your colors. Dark green is for Kat. Parrot green is for Sooty Mooty. I like Sooty Mooty. That's such a funny name. and We Bare Bears. I've seen parts of We Bare Bears, but I should probably go back and watch more of it. I've heard good things. Alright, let's get this parrot green going here. Really layer that on there. I really like yes, Yuki, I like Sooty too. And yes, Kat, it is getting weirder, but once we carve out the detail, I trust it's going to be alright, but mayhaps it won't. Mayhaps the wine got to me too much. And then it's going to look how it's going to look. We Bare Bears is so darn cute, suitable for amusement, kids and adults. That's always a good show, is when you can do both and layer it. As you said, nice and layered. Winnie the Pooh is a good show too. Oh, yeah, the naming did get a little weirder, but the weirder the better, that's alright. And of course, Winnie the Pooh is a good one. Alright, so I'm just checking our coverage here and seeing how it's looking. Oh, my ice cream is melting a lot. I'm going to take an ice cream break. And a wine break. Well, yes, save the ice cream. The ice cream is away from the paint this time. This ice cream, actually, surprisingly, Kat, is as good, if not better, than last time. If that's what you're referring to in the ice cream. It is surprisingly good for a healthier version. So I'm very happy. Oh, no reason that you would love this mug so much. Yes, Yuki, this time, last time we were here, I did to keep my ice cream closer to the paints. And so when I was trying to clean my brush, I accidentally dipped the paint in the ice cream. So I had painted ice cream for a bit. It did get a wee bit purple. Yes, Kodarjo, you are correct. And thank you, Yuki, 10 out of 10 mug. It is me favorite. It holds, I want to say, I think I've put like a 20-ounce drink in here and it holds it. It's very large. And of course, adorned with me favorites. I have to represent. And yes, the poor ice cream. Luckily, it was only for a moment, so it was very entertaining to everyone else. And not too much harm done to me. So. Alright, well, let's see. I think while we let this layer of green dry, we shall do the eye and the beak. Now, I have a thought, and I'm wondering what you all think about this, is when I did the other parrot, I made his beak black. No, Yuki, I did not eat the paint. I caught myself, and I dipped it, and realized it, and did not eat that part of the ice cream. It was very, very brief. Luckily, it did not ruin too much ice cream. But I also feel, I don't know that the acrylic would really be terrible. It's not like oil paints or something that would probably be worse for eating. So in the other one I did the beak black, but now I'm wondering if I should do the beak more of a orange or yellow. What do you guys think? Do you vote black for the beak like the other one? You can see this one, I kind of liked it this way. Or yellow or orange. Any thoughts? While you all think of that, I'm going to put some white on my palette. And while you weigh in on what color the beak should be, we're going to do white for the eye. Then we'll do the beak, and then we'll go back out to the green. Good Lord, I dripped paint everywhere. Looks good in that sunset if you make it a good bright yellow or a brown gold yellow. That's a good point. Yuki says the black works better since the background. That's very also true. It should still pop from the sunset significantly. All right, I see both those points, so we shall see what we get to. I might just do the black because that's what worked last time. No need, you know, no wanting to reinvent. But if you all at home, I do like the bright yellow or the brown gold yellow too. So we shall see what happens when we get there in like 5 minutes. So, of course, at home, if you are painting along or later when you're watching the replay and you're painting your parrot, you can choose what air colors you want to paint your parrot. To be honest, if you want a purple parrot, you could paint a purple parrot. Why didn't I paint a purple parrot? Next time. No, next time we'll paint something else, I think. Anyway, rambling. Oh, Yuki's painting a scarecrow and a clown. That's awesome. I like clowns a lot, if you didn't know that. Now you do. I have a thing about clowns and doing clown makeup, so I'm excited. If you want to share it, if you're feeling so inclined, you can put it in the Discord. Clowns are just fun and also sometimes creepy. But I know that you both don't really like the creepy as much, so I will keep my clowns to myself in that aspect. Alright, so we're just going to put where we kind of carved out the eye. I'm going to make it a little longer here. And it's alright if we go over the black. Yes, Yuki, I love clowns also. Although I do love more creepy clowns. But I like clowns, and I like doing clown makeup. Yes, oh, cat. They were always supposed to be fun. I don't know where the fear came from, but my clown stuff overlaps with Halloween and spooky stuff too. I love both. Do you know where? And then Yuki said, no creepy stuffs for this zombie. That's also totally fair. Creepy is not for everyone, and that's alright. No judgment here for that. I think where some of the clown creepy came from, and this is going to be probably Mercy in another life as a therapist speaking, but is that children and people really know how, like, we go so much off of learning faces and going off of facial expressions. So when a clown's face, which is meant to be joyful and happy, is in that one facial expression, depending on the clown paint, to be happy, children and adults, but mostly as children are learning, cannot read the real facial expressions, which doesn't always feel genuine, and so then it's scary. So, yes, and Halloween, being born on Halloween, I so wish I was born on Halloween. I am jealous, because Halloween is the best, but it's also alright to not like Halloween, Yuki. I'm with you, you know, and no judgment again. But that was my psychology minute from Mercy about the clowns. It's a good thing about you, although there's lots of other good things about you too, besides just being born on Halloween. But that is also a quality thing. Alright, so we did our eyeball, and I think that our green is about set, almost dry, to do the next layer, which we'll do, I think, a lighter green to really pull in some highlights, and then we'll put some shadows in, and then we shall, oh, we have to do the beak. Huh. Well, we'll put a lighter green, and then we'll do the beak as that dries, and then we'll put some shadows and highlights, and then we'll do the outline and we'll be finished. Gosh, this ice cream is very good. So good. Highly recommend. All right. So let's get a little more green going. Help us pick up some of this white and yellow. In here, I'm going to mix a little bit in to make it a little bit of a lighter green. Oh, remind everyone what the ice cream is, of course, yes. So the ice cream is, I don't know if I actually showed you, is Archer Farms, which means it's from Target, also my favorite place. And it is caramel, maple, bourbon, pecan pie, and the entire ice cream is 380 calories. Compared to some of the others, that's pretty good. It has 20 grams of protein, so it's higher protein, but it tastes very good for all of that. So, if you're looking for some ice cream, but you want to eat the whole thing and not feel, I mean, you shouldn't feel terrible anyway, because sometimes, like, especially with the way things have been going, you know, ice cream is ice cream, and it's alright if you eat the whole thing. But if you're looking for a healthier option, I would recommend 10 out of 10. And Yuki said, oh, posted the painting in Discord. I will, when I'm finished, I shall take a look. I would love to see it. And Yuki loves all of the Easter stuffs and bunny and cute stuff. Yes, I also like Easter stuff. Ooh! Now that I've gotten off topic from our parrot, but that's alright, because we're going to finish. We have time. Talking about Easter, I purchased... Oh, I also like Mochi ice cream. I found these were always my little favorites. Those little chickadees. They're fuzzy. I also like Mochi ice cream. And I tried to have him, like, visit us, but they keep falling down. Like, I wanted him to sit. Nope. Sit and paint with us. I also have very small ones, but I just dropped them on the floor. Let me see. Oh Lord. What's your favorite kind of Mochi ice cream, Yuki? If you have a favorite type. Or flavor, I guess, would be the accurate words there. Ooh, green tea is very good too. I like that. I have to get some Mochi ice cream. I do like Mochi. If you get the right brand. And I have very, very tiny ones that I also bought as an impulse because they were so cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Alright. Anyway. My favorite Mochi. I do think green tea is very good. But I had kind of a caramel sea salt, I think, that was good. And chocolate is always a favorite in any kind of ice cream. So, any of those. Alright. I'm going to come back in with a lighter green for some highlights here. Down the back. Do some highlights in the feathers. Really make the feathers long here. With the lighter. Yes, I agree, Yuki. Chocolate is always good. I'll do some green, light green highlights up here. Really kind of fill in the tail feathers for the background before we add some. Oh, thank you, Yuki. I also very much like your paintings. You're very good as well. My paintings is a learning process, but I am appreciating doing them and doing them on stream with everyone. So thank you. All right. I'm going to go back in a little bit with the green, the darker green, just because there's not as much coverage as I'd like there to be. I can still see some of the background. So we'll just do a little bit of that. I think I'm just making him lighter as we go. But that's all right. So once we've done that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add another layer to the belly with kind of the yellow green that I made. We'll do that, and it's alright if you pull a little bit of green into it to kind of blend. Again, that blending is always good. So there's our parrot. While we're waiting for that layer to dry, we will go back in. I'm going to add some more white. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do the black for the eyeball. No, good Lord. I know words. I can speak words. You do an art trade. That's an idea. I like that idea. Do an art trade someday. I have a lot that I don't know what to do with, so I would kind of love that. And I like your art. Certainly a great idea. Yep, so we could talk more about it in the Discord. I love the idea of an art trade though, Yuki. That's a great idea. All right, so I'm going to now pick a different brush entirely. I have to figure out the right thickness of the brush here, so that's important. I used all of my medium-sized. This one's good. So we're going to use now this kind of medium round brush to do the beak. So I'm going to do black, and then I think I'm going to pull in maybe some yellow too. See how that looks. We'll see. So you just kind of fill in where you already outlined here. Excuse me. Oh, I think I have an idea to incorporate both of your ideas. So do the black, and then I think I'll maybe make it kind of orange yellow tipped, which might look nice. Now it's alright if you go over your outline already, because we're gonna go, like I said, go back in and outline some more. Get a little bit of this orange and see. We can kind of pull in. Oh, the black's gonna overtake it. Hold on. No, maybe the yellow. There we go. We'll make it like black and yellow tinged. Oh, thank you, Yuki. Said that's a good idea. And Kitty, oh, hello, ahoy. We're doing art with emphasis on the R. And thank you, Yuki. It's looking very good. I am sort of pleased with it. Thank you for joining us. Hello. I'm a little bit wine in, so doing the best arting that I can under there. So we're gonna let that dry before we add any more layers. Let's go back to our white for the eye. Kat said, I think the green color is a lovely improvement over the sample you made. Yes, I agree. I think it's very much more of a parroty green color. So I appreciate that feedback, because yes, I'm glad I picked the new green. And Kitty said, I've let my art go. I feel that. I did that for a bit too. And I haven't painted in a while until this kind of, we talked about doing this painting stream. So I feel you. My cat loves these paint-alongs with Mercy. I have talent. Oh, well, thank you. I like to think I do, but I don't always feel that way, but thanks. And you did, and you made a great... I loved your drawing, I really did, with the colored pencils and really making it work from the paint to the pencils instead. I loved it. I tried to make it easy follow along. I try to go off of like the paint nights that I've been to learn better how to do it. Alright, so I think I might need to stop chatting so much and get to painting, although we're getting there. We're making progress here. But now I think he's gone from... Oh, well, thank you, Yuki. This is a great stream. I definitely have a lot of fun doing it, so I'm so glad when people join and, you know, watch or paint along, whatever works. I love it. And do more. Yes, I hope to be able to. We're doing different streams on Saturday with different types of crafting or cooking. I know that next week is possibly soda bread or cooking with the crew. I think with our mate Dakar, we're doing a haversack in a few weeks. And I know that our mermaid Cora will be doing something soon as well. So our Saturday nights are definitely, yes, St. Pat's soda bread for the holiday, supposed to be. Are definitely cropping up to be some great art and crafting. And I love that we've added that. Alright. So... I think our next step... Oh no, Mercy will be happy to be back. Sword point or otherwise. Because I do so love this. It has really come out to a nice Saturday night. Alright. So I think now what we can do is we're going to make kind of a lighter green to just pop some highlights in there. Oh, thank you, Yuki. I'm glad that you found our Twitch too, because I love, you know, you coming in and chatting and all the things that you add to it as well. I appreciate that. I think we all do. So we're going to add just some highlights of like lighter in here, kind of for the feathers. And just pop those in where the highlight should be. Or wherever you think it should be. Thank you, Kitty. Yes, always something different. I try to be very versatile. We are a crew of many talents. A very talented crew that I'm glad to be a part of. So what I'm doing now, just kind of pulling like a light yellow green in to the bottom of the feathers. To really pull some highlight in there. And I think I like that. So I think what we'll do now... Oh, thank you, Yuki. Yes, I like the highlights. We do miss our crewmates. I do very much. I think being able to be on the stream is really keeping me going some days. So, all right. I think now what we need to do is let it dry a bit. Oh, Kitty did a reproduction of a meme. That sounds awesome. Oh, yes, Kat. If you want to drop it in the Discord, if you want to share, I would love to see it. I love memes. I live on memes and TikTok these days. Or a link would, yeah. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is take a flat, medium-sized brush, and we're gonna do the talons, and then we will finish out our branch, and then we will add our outline once the base is dry, and our eyeball, and then I think we'll be done, and we'll have painted a lovely parrot. I'm excited. So we're gonna take our black eyeball. I'm gonna have to go back in and look at that. I can't look right now, but I'm excited to see it. Because like I said, I live on memes and TikTok, especially lately. So we're just gonna take some black and put it on the tip of the brush for the talons. And we're gonna kind of just kidding. We're gonna do orange because black's not gonna show up on the branch. So I'm gonna mix some black with the orange. Oh, well, thank you, Kat. Copying it to Discord so it doesn't disappear with the stream chat. Yes, then we can all see the awesomeness. So just kind of do... they're not great. I'm going to try to get a little more of an orange going for this, I think, or yellow. For the talons. That was a lot of yellow, but that's okay. Yuki, I can't wait for next week when the Online World Clown Association convention starts. I am very, very intrigued by that. So I'm not going to mess with his feet a lot because I don't love how the feet are right now, so I'm just going to leave it alone. And then we're going to paint the branch, and then we're going to do details. Then we're going to call it. So just ignore his feet right now. Alright. So now what we need to do is pull a little bit of the white in between the beak and kind of just show that it's, you know, two-part beak. I think he can open his mouth. And then just kind of pull some white highlight here, like this. And like this. Don't love it, but it's fine. And we can pull a little bit of our black. Just to do the eyeball. Yes, Kat, that's a good point. Feet are fixable after the fact, and it's super dry. We can adjust in perfect. That is true. I will work on that. Yuki, the Flower the Crown gave me a year membership of the World Clown Association. That's awesome. I love that. I'm super intrigued. I actually just bought face paint to do some more looks and clown looks, because that's also getting me through this year and last year. All right, so we're going to take a little black on a round brush and just dot the eyeball. Oh, that's still wet. That's all right. We can fix it after. Just kind of do a round. Wow. Wow. His eyeball's huge. It's gonna have classes for making clown costumes, clown characters, being funny, clown shows, and video chatting. I love that. That sounds super amazing. All right. I'm glad that you get that opportunity because it sounds like really fun to be part of. Yeah, you're right. It is proportional. Thank you for that reminder. All right, so as we finish up here, I'm gonna take, I don't even know what brush anymore. I'm gonna take, I think, this flat one, And we're gonna really pull this branch out a little more. And then we'll take a smaller one and we'll kind of outline everything. And then we're gonna call it. And then later you can add on whatever pieces that you want to. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, been to, so it would be a first convention. Those are always the funnest. I mean, I've only ever been to one convention. It wasn't very large, but it was a lot of fun. 2. I lied. I went to the horror convention, which was awesome, but I could see it's not awesome for those of you that don't enjoy that, and a Comic-Con. So, all right, let's see. We need black and brown for our branch here. We're just gonna kind of bring it up, fill in where it's not very, where it's very see-through. Don't want it to be see-through. Just kind of fill in these gaps, but we'll let that dry a little bit because that's gonna all blend. So I'm gonna bring out the branch that he's sitting on, kind of bring it up. Ooh, follow your line, not like what I just did. And however tall you want to make your branch that he's sitting on to end. Can do. We'll kind of round it out at the top here with your flat brush. And just like that. Yeah, there are horror conventions. I think it's hard. Yeah, horror, I can't talk. Is, I don't like gross horror. I like supernatural, creepy horror, not gross stuff. So, I hear you, Kitty. And yes, probably on edge at a clown convention. But I love clowns. Alright, so we'll do our branch up. I realize we've like 10 minutes left, so just kind of close this out here. I'm going to reach a good wrap-up point and not leave you guys hanging. So there's our branch. Great celebs come to horror cons. Yes, apparently Weird Al's first convention was a monster con. I didn't know that. Yes, Yuki, all horror is scary, but there is different types. I enjoy the creepy supernatural type versus the gory type. S&M convention, yes. Yes, there are conventions for most everything you could think of. Alright, so what we're going to do now, since we've done most of the steps, our parrot is looking pretty... yes, Kat, I do not do torture porn or body horror. Absolutely not. Don't like that. Give me ghosts. Give me creepy clowns. I'm here for it. Give me the others. No. Oh dear. Alright. So we're going to find a... I like this one. I'm going to use this little flat brush here to kind of outline, and I'm going to hope that most of my green is dry so that we can do our outline, and then we can, you know, wrap it up. So you're going to take your small flat brush for details. Some people like to use a small round brush for details, and whatever works for you. So I'm just going to kind of put it on the top of the brush here so I can get the details in. And then I'm going to go over my lines, my outline from here. And just kind of, you know, I'm going to outline the feathers a bit so that they pop out a bit. And Yuki, that's fair. Sleep is important, and if it keeps you up, you don't want to delve into it. And cookies are always good. It's an over 18 thing, and, you know, only for some people, which is alright. So I'm just gonna kind of do some outline and pop out some of the feathers here. Kitty's been KumaraCon, SteamCon 5, and GearCon. Oh, that sounds very interesting. And all of the pirate events and Scottish games. Yes, also very awesome. So just kind of outlining our feathers a bit. I don't love the brush I picked, but it's alright because it's working the best it can. And especially whined in that I am. Oh, Kodarja, I miss cons so much. Been to a few small ones and one in Baltimore. Yes, they are very, very awesome, and I do miss them as well. I've only been to a small one near me, the Boardwalk one, but it was very fun. Alright, so we're outlining our feathers, or this feather here. We're actually going to pick a different brush because that one is making me agitated. That's fine, Yuki. You keep it that way. I'm really interested though hearing about this clown convention when you're done. If you happen to join us in the chat on stream, you want to talk about it, I would love to hear about it. All right. So just outlining my wings here. And the belly. Outline the belly again, now that we've added color to it. Outline here. That does sound very awesome, Kodarjo. Miss the ones that are at huge convention centers. The one in Baltimore, you can look out over a sea of cosplayers. Yeah. Hey, whatever works. Float your boat. Float your boat. I'm going to now outline the eyes. I'm going to see how that goes, but I just kind of give a little black outline here. Touch up his beak. I'm going to touch up the feet a little bit here, but I'll do that also later because it's still drying. And add in some more detail to break out these feathers a little more, some shadow here with the black. All right, I think we're good. I feel fairly pleased with our parrot here. He's a little different than our other one, but that's all right. Oh, cat missing the big ones. Philly Wizard World for free would be awesome. Suti Muti Mori. Oh, I love that. There we go. We're calling it. I will add finishing touches later, perhaps. But we have Suti Muti Mori, our parrot friend. If you wanted, I'm not going to tonight because we've also reached 9 o'clock, which I think is a good ending point. I think we made a lovely parrot, and I hope anyone that was following along or later watches the replay can follow along and enjoys how their parrot comes out. If you do, I would love to see it in the Discord and be shared, share it with us. So we have this. Our Suti Muti Mori, our pirate friend, and his original Suti Muti Mori #1. So, I appreciate everyone that joined us and helped us name our pirate. Joined us. I don't know why I said us, it's just me tonight. But it's all of us in the chat, so I guess us works as well. Thank you. You're welcome, Kat, and thank you, Yuki, that they look great. It's actually my first time doing a parrot freehand, coming up with it on my own, so thank you all for bearing with me and watching along and chatting. I had fun. I hope you all had fun as well, and I hope that if you do watch the replay, you share it with us. We will be back. Thank you, Yuki. It was a fun stream. I'm glad you had fun. We will be back on Monday with our regular sunset rummin' and chatting that we be doing on Monday nights. So come and join us and keep an eye out for the rest of our streams as well. All right. Thank you all. Have a lovely night. Have a good rest of your weekend. And we'll see you Monday night, hopefully. Goodbye.